In this video, I want to look at scene geography. Basically, how do we know where characters are, particularly in relation to one another? The scene we're looking at comes from a 3-page challenge that we did for Scriptnotes, episode 394. Craig and I talked through the scene in that episode, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can see what we talked about in that time. Let's just start at the top here and read through it. A woman's face. Asleep, her head resting on a plain white pillow. Dipshit says in a pre-lap, Twyla. There's no response. Twyla. The camera shakes, the woman's eyes open, and we match cut to a rear view mirror. Reflecting the same eyes we just saw, but fully awake and alert now. Strong, determined, resolute. Cut wide on, interior, 1981 Z28 Camaro, not moving, day. Twyla, our hero. 30s, short hair, black bomber jacket. Don't fuck with her, she won't fuck with you. Lounging behind the wheel, she looks over at some dipshit who'll get blown up by page 9. 20s, messy hair, Stephen Hawking t-shirt under a wrinkled blazer. Dipshit says, you keep zoning out. More than usual, I mean. Twyla stares, he sighs. If anyone ever needed to take the edge off. Dipshit digs a cigarette pack from his pocket and offers it to Twyla. Expression unchanged, Twyla looks away. Dipshit says, come on, one's not going to kill you? Twyla says, it's not me I'm worried about. Dipshit stares. What an odd response. The moment passes, and he starts waving the pack under her face. Dipshit says, come on. Twyla yanks the pack away and throws it out her open window. Dipshit leans back. What the hell, man? Twyla, ignoring him, leans forward. Out the window, a flat, open pasture. In the distance, getting closer, a bright blue Mini Cooper. So that's the end of this sort of initial head of a scene. There's going to be, obviously, the Mini Cooper's going to come and more stuff happens. But I thought this is basically page 1. We could talk through what we're seeing here and what's working and what's not working so well. So what do we have here? Well, we have the mystery of who these characters are and what they're waiting for. We get that. But we also have some real confusion. I kind of don't get what's happening here at the start. So we have this woman's face. She's sleeping on a plain white pillow. I don't really know what's connected to what. So the two choices I see, it could be that first, these are really two separate scenes. These are two separate moments. There's this thing with a woman's face and her waking up. And there's another scene, which is interior of this Camaro. So these are just completely separate spaces, completely separate times. The second choice here is that this opening sequence is some sort of fantasy or memory, that she's zoned out and she's waking up later on in the Camaro. Here we have match cut to a rearview mirror. So this match cut makes me think that we're meant to be sort of going from this fantasy space into the car. And Dipshit says later on, you keep zoning out. So I feel like the writer's trying to get the sense that, okay, this is really kind of one continuous thing. It's a fantasy going into this car. I also want to talk about sort of the confusing geography of this place because we're interior this car that's not moving, but where is this car? Cars have windows, so we're looking out into something. The whole scene feels a lot different if we know we are parked in a city or we are parked in a forest. We don't know where we are until page 2 or page 3. That's too late. So we need to put this car in some place. One option would be to really start on the car and then get into this space. So let's try this first. What if we were to start on the car itself? We could start very wide on a 1981 Z28 Camaro parked in a flat open pasture, middle of nowhere. The windows are down. It's been here a while. So if we were to do this, we don't need the woman's face. We'd delete this. We'd hear dipshit, but really this is not a pre-lap. A pre-lap is like there's another scene that's going to be happening. We're just dragging the audio earlier in, but it's not really meant to be two different scenes. So we can just hear a man's voice. That way we know it's a man talking. Twyla, there's no response. Twyla. We're getting rid of this whole camera shake idea with the woman's eyes opening. But we can maybe save this rearview mirror. So let's move this rearview mirror into the car. So if we were to take this section here, put it on down below here. So in the rearview mirror, we see a woman snap awake. Strong, determined, resolute. I don't know that we need strong, determined, resolute. Let's see what happens if we get rid of this. Twyla, our hero, 30s, short hair, black bomber jacket. Um, I don't know that we need our hero. This is how I do it. Twilight 30s. Um, and here we're saying lounging behind the wheel. Lounging makes it feel like I don't know that she just kind of woke up. Um, behind the wheel also makes it feel like she's driving and there's something that feels active and she's not being active. So Twyla is in the passenger seat. Sorry, she's driver's seat. Short hair, black bomber jacket. Don't fuck with her, she won't fuck with you. Um, so what if we just did this? So sentence fragments here, short hair, black bomber jacket, fine. Sentence fragment, great. She looks over at. Script sample uses a lot of colons. I think dashes are more common. Colons can also work, but there's a lot of colons as you see. So I'm going to try this as a dash. I might put this on as a separate line just so that we see like the Twilight gets her own beat here to get more white space is helpful. She looks over at some dipshit who'll get blown up by page 9. Great. 20s, messy hair, Stephen Hawking t-shirt under a wrinkled blazer. I like it. This is, a choice to really sort of call out the disposability of the character. Fine. So this character's named Dipshit. Great. He says, you keep zoning out. More than usual, I mean. Twilight stares. He sighs. If anyone ever needed to take the edge off, okay. This parenthetical is playable. Twilight's going to do something. He's going to sigh. It works. Here, Dipshit digs a cigarette pack from his pocket and offers it to Twyla. Expression unchanged, Twyla looks away. It's a lot of shoe leather here for something kind of simple. Also, you don't dig a cigarette pack out of your jeans if you're sitting down in a car. So it'd be in his blazer pocket. I don't think we need to dig it out. I feel like it's just handy. So let's maybe say Dipshit holds up a pack of cigarettes, cigarette pack, and offers one, and offers it. Twyla looks away. I don't know that you need to say that she doesn't change expression. Come on. One's not going to kill you. It's not me I'm worried about. Dipshit stares. What an odd response. Sure. The moment passes and he starts waving the pack under her face. I don't know that we need that extra beat. What if he just kept going? He starts waving the pack under her face. Or he waves the pack under his face. Again, you don't need to hurt him to start doing something. Come on. Twilight yanks the pack away and throws it out her open window. She's probably not going to have to yank that hard. You yank something that you have to actually pull against, offering it to her. So Twilight takes the pack and throws it out her open window. Dipshit leans back. What the hell, man? I'd italicize this. We can see the expression, and so it's the line he would have said if he'd said the line. Twyla, ignoring him, leans forward. I would put this as a double dash. It just, again, helps signal to the reader something new is happening. Out the windshield, a flat open pasture. So we move that to the top, but let's say if we keep it here. In the distance, getting closer, a bright blue Mini Cooper. We can get rid of that. So let's take a look at this version of the scene. So we haven't changed a lot, but I think it's clearer what's happening, from the top to the bottom and where we are at. So in this version, we are starting very wide on 1981 Camaro, parked in a flat open pasture, middle of nowhere. Windows are down. It's been here a while. We hear a man's voice say, Twyla, Twyla, into the car. I think we can take out this not moving. We said it's parked. In the rearview mirror, we see a woman snap awake. Twyla's in the driver's seat, short hair, so we get a sense of who Twyla is. We get Dipshit, we get their conversation, and we see they're waiting for something to happen. Now let's go back and remember that in the initial version of this, Twyla was in like this sort of white space, and then she woke up out of it. So let's go back and say, like, if that was really the intention, like we're going to go back to that moment again and again, like she keeps zoning out and coming back in, maybe that's important for the script. So let's see what that would look like. So let's go back and put in something more like what the original version was. I'm going to copy and paste this in here. So we're getting rid of this establishing the car first on the outside. So here we're saying a woman's face. She's asleep. I'm saying she's asleep, resting on a plain white pillow. A man's voice says, Twyla. There's no response. Twyla. The camera shakes. The woman's eyes open. Resting on a plain white pillow we're very close if we're doing that. That can work. I wonder if we want more space. So we're in some sort of medical facility. though it's not, though it's all a bit hazy. Twyla. The camera shakes. A rumble. We want to sense that something really strange is happening. The woman's eyes open. Then we go to match cut 2, not part of the scene description in the line ahead. Match cut 2, a rear view mirror. Great. So we see like this is one moment. This is another moment. The same eyes we just saw, but fully awake and alert now. We are interior Z28 Camaro day. We won't need this line again. I would say parked rather than not moving. Twyla's in the driver's seat, short hair. I guess we're going to sense that she's now fully awake. She looks over at, maybe give her a dazed. Either she's fully awake or she's dazed, but now awake. We are interior Z Camaro, parked, a bit dazed. Still a bit dazed. She looks over at some dipshit who'll get blown up at page 9. This might be an opportunity to through the windows. We see we're parked in a flat open pasture. Still a bit dazed. Twyla looks over at. Just because we haven't seen her name in a couple lines, I think better just remind us that her name is Twyla, some dipshit, and then the rest of the scene would play the same. So those are two choices for how you might get into this. I'm guessing that they do mean for this to be a sort of reveal that we're going from one place to another. So I think breaking this up in 2 parts will make more sense. Now, when I asked the writer, Andrew, if I could use his scene, he said he'd already rewritten it based on the feedback he'd gotten off of Scriptnotes. So let's take a look at the version of the scene that he wrote. So it is meant to be a hospital. Interior, a hospital room day. Close on a woman's face. Asleep in bed, her head rests on a plain white pillow. Slow dolly back, revealing more of the woman and her surroundings, sterile and white. The lighting is almost too bright, like we're in a dream or memory. I like all that. I don't necessarily know that we need to slow dolly back, slowly pull back. Slowly reveal more of the woman and her surroundings would also work. A deep, bassy rumble starts to grow, starts low, grows louder. The cup of water on the woman's food tray begins to vibrate. The rumble becomes a roar. The woman begins to stir. Then we hear Twyla. Off-screen equipment topples over. So it's a much bigger moment on the outside here, which I think is going to work better than sort of the version we just did. The woman's eyes snap open as she wakes up, and we match cut 2. I would still put match cut 2 over here as an actual transition. Interior Z28 Camaro. Angle on the rearview mirror. I would say in the rearview mirror, the reflection showing the same woman from the previous scene. I don't know why you just don't call her Twyla there, but that's fine. She's been lost in a memory, perhaps, it says here. The same stuff happens with dipshit here. So he establishes in the passenger seat. This dialogue is the same. We've talked about the cigarette business. Here it says, we stay on her, not yet seeing what she sees. So this is the new reveal of the blue car coming. And the scene continues from here. So what can we take away from this? Well, I hope this video gives you some sense of how small choices on a page can help or hurt a reader's ability to understand the geography of a scene. Andrew also filmed a short video to show what this was meant to look like. So in the comments below, I'll put a link to his video so you can see what his version of the scene was like. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.